It is no longer news, but it has become one issue that history will continue to make reference to, talking about the disciplinary measures taken upon the Libyan Football Federation and also as a country over their misconduct on the Nigerian Super Eagles. Well, this is one issue we also look into beyond just the headlines and what CAF has been able to do on the program. I am Abdullah Hajia, welcoming you to Capital Sports, reaching you from the Unity Station NTA Channel 5 Abuja. At this time, this is the best place to be. And in the next 30 minutes, we'll be highlighting some of these stories in the world of sports. Welcome. Join us again. Thank you for staying with us. And at this moment, let's begin on a cherry note. And I know the Nigerian under 20 team, the Flying Eagles, are still basking in the euphoria of their victory over the Black Starlets of Ghana. Yes, talking about the under 20 team and the Wafubi qualifying championship. Yes, they did it again. As the defending champion, they were able to retain their title. They won the last time, this time in Lome, Togo. And just yesterday, the boys, were able to put smiles on our face. Yes, they started poorly, losing their first game, but after bouncing back, it's been winning upon winning until they were able to bring back that trophy. All right. Well, and reactions have continued to trail that. Congratulatory messages from football stakeholders, uh, congratulating the boys, including the coach, the coach Zubeiru, whom probably many never gave that, opportunity of thinking he would have delivered what he has done. But sometimes uh, proving bookmakers wrong. I think that was what the coach has been able to do. And I think kudos to him for bringing back that trophy. And the next stage will be the Africa Nations Cup. That is the under 20 Africa Nations Cup, which Nigeria and Ghana have both qualified after booking their places in the final. Beyond that, let's also look at the AFCON qualifying in game. Joshua, recently we also learned that the concluding phase of the AFCON 2025 qualifier, talking about the senior level now, the Super Eagles will conclude their round of the qualifier in November. That's what CAF has said, and that will be against Rwanda at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium. But as we speak, talking about the disciplinary Major CAF has also, wielded his stick on Libya. That is to serve as deterrent to other footballing nations or clubs. We know over time these antics have come up, but we've not gotten, some of these sanctions clearly coming out like we did get at this time. Talking about awarding 3 points, free goals to the Super Eagles of Nigeria over the ill treatment they got in Libya during the return leg of the AFCON qualifier against the Mediterranean Knights. And I think that would, serve as a good lesson to all those who have always been beneficiaries of these antics. But let's get some reactions from Francis Kabile, who will be standing by after that, CAF disciplinary ruling. Some football enthusiasts, bear their minds. Let's hear that.
The verdict of the CAF Disciplinary Committee awarding 3 points and 3 goals to the Nigerian Super Eagles against Libya and also fining the sum of 50,000 US dollars against the Mediterranean Knights in the 2025 African qualifier. Football enthusiasts bear their minds on this development.
It's a good idea because if they don't take action concerning this, it will keep repeating itself with other African countries. So the step will make other countries to take care of their visitors when they are coming for away matches.
I thank God we have gotten the point which we were praying for at the same time, but I wasn't happy with the attitude over there in Libya because I see no reason whereby we done what they did to Nigeria. That is a slap.
It's a nice one, but I feel that is not enough. You know, sport as a unifying factor is supposed to unify the whole world, irrespective of your race, your religion, what region you come from. So what they did, I think they have displayed a spirit of unsportsmanship.
The football lovers appealed that more disciplinary measures should be applied to avoid reoccurrence of such incidents. In Abuja, Francis Kabile, NTA News.
Thank you, Francisca. And I know that those reactions will not be different from other reactions across, the football world beyond just even Nigeria. If anyone might be looking at it from that bias or sentiment point of view, but I think every team, every a national team deserves an honorable welcome, the hospitality. I think that is the fair play FIFA has always talked about. Let the sportsmanship always be there. Yes, even when you are losing, you will still play tomorrow. And I think I would say kudos to CAF. And the lesson there is for all of us to learn and do the right thing and the needful. Well, at this juncture, the maestro himself, Badi Adelia, is here. I know you've been so busy all this while, but it's not out of going to gather some of these top sporting stories. More so when the sports, family or industry in Nigeria is taking a new shape. So I want to welcome Badi Adele right away before we continue.
Thank you for having me, Abdullah. And of course, we didn't expect anything less when it comes to, that particular situation. It was an anomaly. And of course, nobody expected it. In this 21st century, and that is still happening, Abdullah. I felt for the 3 points and 3 goals, Libya, they knew they were not going to qualify at the end of the day. So it's not really paying them that much. 50,000, dollars, maybe some money, but having like a home ban, that will have hit them even, harder now going to play your own matches in another country. I think that was the type of punishment that we actually wanted. But uh, it's good now, at least they've laid down a marker when it comes to, such, situations.
Well, Badi, let's just leave that by the way and focus on the issues of the moment.
Yeah.
Just last week we saw a reshufflement, a change in the present administration's cabinet. Well, let's talk the one that concerns us, the sports ministry giving way, the National Sports
Sports
Commission.
Commission.
The National Sports Commission is not new to some of us.
Yes.
So how far so far? What should we be expecting? I know there have been, handing over and taking over, assumption of duty. So what's the latest?
I'm like, what it means now is that it's not just the government
Yeah.
that is going to be running sports. It's going to be like a normal sector
Okay.
where you have, all the normal, players. What I mean here is that now on the board of that commission, you might have, maybe private sector guys there. You can have, people in the marketing world. You can have military, paramilitary representatives. You might find, so any sort of, people from different sectors, you find them there. Not like it's just like, maybe just a civil servants or politicians, that are just operating the sports business in Nigeria. Now it's going to be like a normal commission where you have, experts in all fields coming there. So it's not just, people that are being appointed by government alone. They also pick people from all the sectors to come and help sports development in Nigeria. Now, that's number one. And number two about this now is that, sports is now going to be run in a way that, it has to be viable. You have future plans. You don't just say, okay, we're going for a competition now and you must win medals. It's not like if this person doesn't win now, what happens in 4 years? So it's like you're putting a system in place, not, personality. That's the difference now. Now it has to be a system. Maybe now, you now say that, okay, two athletes, this is what is going to be happening to them every 4 years. So the system is there. So now what they will be fighting for is like, I want to be one of the two athletes, that will be there. That's one of the things that we're talking about. So in short, sports is now going to be run the right way. And now we're going to have the sports economy. Maybe at the end of the year, you can now have the announcement that sports alone brought social amount to Nigeria's economy. That's what we're talking about.
Well, that is a huge and bold step, I think, if you ask me. And I think we're beginning to probably get it right with this new development. But just yesterday, you were there when the chairman, NSC chairman, took over from the erstwhile Minister of Sports.
No.
What actually happened there?
Shehu Diko is no newbie when it comes to sports business in Nigeria. Funny enough, Abdullah, about 16 years ago, he was a consultant, and at that point he was called to come and draft the then bill, for the National Sports Commission Act.
Wow.
And so he was part of the people that put it together. Well, and 16 years later, he's, taking charge. As if you're now, with the rules that you set in place, you'll now be one of the first people, to
Implement them.
experience it. So
Okay.
I think that's quite nice. So when he came in, normal way you're going to be shown to your new office and all that. Then everyone in the sports fraternity were waiting. Then he came, he talked about, he was very grateful to the president. And of course, he knows that it's time for, serious business. But he was very quick to point out one thing. And he said, don't think because I've been appointed the chairman of National Sports Commission, the next thing you see is that we're going to win 1 million gold, a billion silver and others. This is now time for us to have a proper structure in place. So it's not about winning medals. It's about saying that, are we making progress? Are we putting the normal systems there? So I think he spoke convincingly. I spoke with, a variety of, sports media people, and they were very much impressed with his, inaugural speech. And I think that's quite beautiful. And so it wasn't a day for the former man because it was just to say, see, take these papers and let me leave this place.
But Bade, well, I enjoy what you just said about the new man show Diko. But if you take it to the streets, let's say in the street of Abuja, you and I know how passionate Nigerians are,
Yeah,
how enthusiastic Nigerians are with sports.
yeah.
So the aspect of we're not here to talk about winning medals, I think we should be able to correct that. Yes, if you tell us that
Abdullah,
in the short run we should not be expecting
Abdullah,
medals, but in the
if,
long
if
run, then
Abdullah, if you gave me that opportunity, that would be my speech too. In Nigeria, you have to learn how to underpromise and overdeliver.
okay,
Don't overpromise and underdeliver.
okay.
They will hold you by the jugular because they will say you promised us 20 medals. Now you've only won two. They will judge you by that. But just say, okay, we'll go there. We'll try our best. And you return with 20 medals. That's the idea. So under promise, over deliver. Obviously, it's not telling us that we'll be going for competitions and start losing.
But I'm
But you
assuring
have
you,
you
I'm
understand.
assuring you, Nigerians
So you
will.
cannot be telling us that the Super Eagles now, if they go to the AFCON, they should crash out of the group stage. It doesn't mean it that way. But it's just saying, see, if you're going to confirm the progress of what we're doing at this point in time, don't go by the medals because there are so many things that are now involved. At the end of the day, at the end of the year, too, you have to find out. It's not just about bringing money to the government or anybody, but you, even if you're an outsider, you can now say, you can approach the National Sports Commission and say, this is the thing you want to do in Nigeria sports. And at the end of the day, they give you the room to go do it. That means we have a thriving sports economy. know that you're battling with it to get venues, to get, the stars, everything they can just give you, the way to go and you get it done. So it's going to work the normal way. We know the amount Premier League alone brings to, England. But in Nigeria, we're battling to get sponsors.
All right, but we'll still come back to this issue. But let's tell the viewer that it is your program always, and at this juncture, we'll be putting the phone line, which is already on the screen, for you to be part of the conversation. It is Capital Sports reaching you from the Unity Station NT Channel 5, Abuja. And you've gotten some of the issues, and some of those were yet to also, raise. So you can be part of it by calling us to be parts of the discussion. So, but before we begin to, get the calls now, we've also seen briefly now, we've also seen Sheldeko visiting, a cross section of stakeholders. I think it's also the way to go so that you'll be able to, fraternize properly and cross your T's and dot your I's, like we always say, for results to come later.
I think it's nice. But I'm sorry, as the former sports minister, he did the same thing.
Okay.
But most of the people that he met at the end of the day, privately, they now told us by the time he was consulting them when he was appointed as a minister, but that time he had not been sworn in, they told him these were the problems and everything. By the end of the day, most of them could not say that he listened to them. So mine is that if you're going to consult people and at the end of the day you're not going to listen to them, it's just better you just stay in your office or your house. So I just hope that this consultation is just for him to take notes, to know how broad the problems could be. This man has been Mr. Football for a long time. Now he's going to be Mr. Sports in general. He's going to be responsible for basketball, for rugby,
Athletics.
and even some other sports that are going to be created tomorrow. Because you understand. So that's just it. No, so it's good for him to hear. I could see him with some people like Sunday Dari and the former minister who felt like to an extent he was sabotaged. You understand? So
Okay.
he just needed to listen to the cross section of all these guys who have been there.
All right, let's talk to the Super Falcons now. We saw in the international friendly against the Phoenix of Algeria. It's like restating their dominance and class on the African continent. 6-1 on aggregate for the two legs. 2-0, 4-1. Was that convincing to you?
Convincing in the sense of in the form of their opponents, of the opponents that they played.
Okay.
I would have loved, a team like South Africa or Morocco. Those are the or Zambia. Those are the guys now that will give you a good run for your money. Home-based players, played in this game, and so I'm not bringing down, the work that they've done. But what we've been talking about is that when you're playing friendlies, give us grade A friendlies, teams that you're not sure even with your first team that you can beat them, every day, every time. You understand? So, but we must give it to them. The young stars are coming up, and of course, we've always been talking of old legs. So these are new legs, and they've been given the opportunity. Quite a beautiful initiative from the coach, and of course, Justin Madogo. Let's see, maybe many of them will be integrated into the proper team.
Well, talking about the integration of the home base and those foreign-based players, I don't know if you watched the match, but what's your assessment of probably the performance, what they brought, to the
They
table?
did well. Well,
Okay.
they really performed, and of course, many of them made a bold claim, for a place, in the Super Falcons. But at the end of the day, it was always difficult. You have to make a name for yourself first. And of course, yeah, and then at times the way it works is like when the big player is not around and you step in, then you make another claim for that. But on a normal day, if you're playing and you're dropping your Igbo wall for a player in the Nigeria Women's Football League Premiership, people will first query you, and of course they will expect you to live up to the billing, of that person that was dropped earlier. So that's the issue. So at times, even if you're a coach and all that, it will be difficult for you to drop Chiamaka Inadozie, that there is now a goalkeeper in the MPFL, in the NWFL that is better than her. So those are one of the things to be considered. So it's not really easy. It has to be a coach. This coach looks bold. He has to be bold and firm, and just sit on that decision. But it's going to be baby steps. Maybe one or two will be coming in, but don't expect to see like four, five. All the foreign-based professionals too are still fighting within themselves to be in the starting lineup. So they are not just fighting, as home-based players. They are fighting everything. All the factors are there for them.
Okay, well, let's hope that we see the blend for whoever is going to be picked to join the already established team. But beyond that, let's also come back home and briefly talk about the MPFL. I think the journey is getting, sweeter, interesting. 9 games already. Rivers United are already top of the table. It seems there is something
And they are
around this
unbeaten.
Finidi George and the local league, even though he ran away from the Super Eagles job.
You people wanted to like, he couldn't, handle the pressure. It was getting too much for him. Rivers United have really been outstanding. 9 games gone, and of course unbeaten. Same with all Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri. Both of them met, on match day 9, and they had to like cancel each other out. It's been beautiful, and of course with Remo Stars coming behind them. Aimba to his former team, they've not done so badly. So these three teams have really been, trying their best this season. So let's see where it really goes. Because at times Rivers United will succumb. They will come to, number two. Remo Stars takes, they will take over number one. But with time, the, Rivers United have been more dominant now in the past 3 weeks, in the number one position. So I think, the first three, we should look out for them. Plateau United too,
I think
United
we'll
too,
have our
trying
first
to
caller.
come
Let's
up.
see if we can get this caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, your name, please, and where you're calling us from.
This is Maria Yusuf from Abuja.
Okay, Camaria, are you a fan of Capital Sports? And what do you have to tell us? Or which of the issues?
Sir, please, can I know the score for Super Falcons and Algeria?
Okay. I think the first leg all played in Nigeria. With
In
2-0, we defeated them, and the return leg still in Nigeria. We also defeated them 4-1. So if we put it together, what we call aggregates for the two legs, you have 6-1 for the 2 games played, which I think was good for us. Thank you, Camaria, for calling.
Thank you, sir.
All right, yeah. Okay, well, she's just interested in the results of the
Yeah.
Super Falcons. So, you were talking before I interrupted you. So let's quickly. What I wanted to be at the Lafayette Township Stadium to watch my Darlington, the Nasarawa United against Kano Pillars, which I feel is a good northern derby. But unfortunately, I couldn't make it. But
But fortunately,
the result
was fortunate.
made for it. So,
Caterpillars, I wouldn't know what's really happening, to them. They've been blowing cold and hot. Same with Nasarawa United.
sure.
So those two teams, let's hope, it's just 9 days. We cannot even talk about who is going to get relegated
Sure.
or win the league now. People are laying down early markers. But let's see how it's going to go because we still have about 29 matches to go.
Ademola Lukman, I think the man of the. But before we go, let's see if we can get his caller. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Your name, please, and where you're calling us from. Hussein Zakari, this Capital Sports. Yes, what do you have to tell us, please? Oh, you appreciate okay what we're doing. Okay, thank you. Keep watching Capital Sports, and probably you win one of our prizes some one of these days. All right, thank you, Zakari, for calling. All right,
All right. Well,
Ademola Lukman.
Ademola Lukman, yeah. Away from the controversy of, Vinicius Junior and Rodri, at least, our darling Ademola Lukman finished 14th. That another thing that makes him, a top candidate for the African Footballer of the Year award. But what a man! Started so early, and of course, he was a star at Charlton Athletic, and of course, we felt, getting to Everton, he was going to bring, his A game and all that. But football happened to him until he finally got his way to Atlanta, and we finally saw the stuff that is really made of. And of course, that's quite beautiful. to see that a Nigerian is there. That'll be the third time a Nigerian will be in the top 15 when it comes to Ballon d'Or. Wako Kanu had that in the past, Victor Osimhen, and of course, now we have Ademola Lookman. What a year he's had.
Okay, well, we wish him well, and probably maybe next year we'll see a better him, maybe finishing the top 10
Yeah,
because I
last
think
week,
he's still,
Abdullah,
firing.
last week within about 28 minutes, this man scored 2 goals and assisted 2 goals. That tells you how gifted, he is.
All right. Well, before we go, we just want to say congratulations to our coach Bob Oluwole, who just retired from public service. But we're giving it to him because this is one man that has supported grassroots football that we've always come here to talk about. As far as football, grassroots football in the FCT, AMAC is concerned, I think he has paid his dues and he wished to contribute, so much. I was there. I think I'm also a beneficiary of his coaching as a
Abdul,
footballer. And I think we celebrate him and we hope that he will continue to support grassroots football. He has discovered so many talents, and we hope moving forward that more talents will benefit from his.
Abdullah, quickly, it's always difficult to have coaches who just choose the grassroots as their main area of focus. Some of them are so greedy that they are always looking at that area where they can make more money. So with Coach Bob, you should know that this is a result of serious of his passion for the game, and it deserves everything. All the flowers is getting now, it deserves everything.
Buddy, I must thank you very sincerely. And as we go, we want to tell you that Yannick Sinner has pulled out of the Paris Masters due to illness. And so he will not continue with that game. But we wish him well as one of the top seeds in the game of tennis. On that note, we want to appreciate you for your time and for always being a part of Capital Sports. Keep watching some of our programs or our programs on the Unity Station NT Channel 5 Abuja. As I leave you at this moment, buddy, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's it on the program. See you next time.